So little did I know, I was just ahead of when Proxy was actually going to be hitting all of our stadiums here today. So if you haven't done the new update, you need to run and go do it. I'm sure YouTube is flooded with other content creators having Proxy videos on their channels right now, but I just wanted to show you Proxy and give you my takes and see if I was correct in what I thought of Proxy. So all of my assumptions of what I was looking at with what Eric had are correct. They do look like IR files. They are shareable on .clone files, and I think we're going to be able to easily manage that library of all of our captures, clones, proxy files very, very easily within their own categories of amp and cab, amp, preamp, and distortion pedal. Line 6's track record was proven true, and it came out to be what Eric said it was going to be: an easy to manage internal file system. Check mark for us on being right about that and it being a great addition and feature. The biggest question that everybody's going to have is, how does it sound? What is the quality of these captures, of these clones? And I can tell you that it is top tier. When I say it is right on par with Quad Cortex and Tonex, I think definitely ahead of Kemper 2.0. It sounds incredible. It sounds identical whenever I'm using the features of going back and forth after the clone, after the proxy has been made. I can't tell a difference. The only way that I can tell a difference is I can hear the reverb of the original thing that I'm capturing versus the reverb on the clone, or no reverb on the clone. That's the only difference. But once I pull them out and try to take everything out and make it dry, I cannot hear a single difference between the capture, the clone, and the original. I can't even tell. Until you get into a bunch of other nuances, can you even tell a difference? And at that point, you're not telling a difference between the capture or the clone, you're just telling a difference on the effect, because the effects are going to be slightly different. So check mark on that also. So it's easy to use. It is the best user interface. It sounds just as good as the rest of them. What is there not to like? I don't know. Some of the things that have yet to be proven would be, are we going to be able to switch between these clones on snapshots? Now, Eric did say to me and in that interview that that is something that they are working on and hoping that they can implement, but it's not a guarantee. There's nothing on the sheet that says it is an absolute must. But if Eric says that he's trying to make that a possibility and wants to put that on the roadmap, that's a really good sign that that could be something we see in the future, and not just a shot in the dark of figuring out what that we might get. The other thing that we are yet to be proven on is efficiency. You can do 2 captures per line, but that does take up a lot of DSP. I will say what I was able to do in my John Mayer preset is that I could have had 2 captures in there if I wanted to. I really only wanted to have the 1 capture because it gets all of the amps and works really well, but I could have a capture with all the same effects on the top line and on the bottom line. And the 1 proxy block was able to replace 7 blocks in my previous preset. It replaced 3 EQs, 2 amps, and 2 caps. So that's pretty awesome as far as DSP trade-off is concerned. 1 block versus those 7 blocks really did, even though it's a DSP hog, it was more efficient. And I think over time we will see Line 6 make these proxy files more and more efficient. We've seen that across the board with Line 6. We've seen that across the board with Tonex. And we've seen that with Quad Cortex. These things are very DSP heavy at the beginning. The more and more the process continues, the better they're getting. Let me show you a little bit of that process and what it looks like here on the device. All right, so if we want to make a capture, we just go up here and hit our hamburger button, and we are going to go to New Clone. And it's saying there's some unsaved stuff. That's fine. We're going to continue. And here we are. Very similar page, if not the exact same page that Eric showed us at NAMM. Amp and cab, amp, preamp, and distortion. So let's go to amp and cab. I think this is going to be the one that most people are going to use. And we're going to hit next. And it's going to tell you it's going to be really loud, which is fair. It is going to be loud. And very easy, you're just going to go into the instrument in, you're going to go out of Send 4 and go into the amp, into the pedal, into the interface, whatever you're going into to capture. And then you're going to come out of that source, whether it's a microphone, out of the back of the interface, out of the pedal, and you're going to go back into mic in. And then on the preamps and on the pedal side, you're going to go back into return on your 4 or 2, depending on which model you have. Then you hit next, and then this is where you're going to be able to play. And then right here, you can just adjust your gain, or tidbit, you can go up here and control your gain with the little knobby. You want to aim for around -12. -9 is great, but it could be a little too loud depending. But as long as you're in that green consistently, you're going to be fine. Once everything's good to go, you hit next. You're going to name it whatever. We'll just call this test. And then you can put in all of the different notes: channel, drive, gain, bass, mid, treble, level, output, year, the brand, the product, name it. Anything you want, you have all your notes in here. And once you hit clone, then it's going to go to the process of doing everything super loud and crazy. I'm just going to cancel this for right now so you can see it. We go there, and that's it. Once it's done, it lets you A/B test it, and you're good to go. I don't even need to show you anything else from there. There's going to be plenty of other people making videos about exactly how Proxy works and how to make your captures, but for the most part, that is how you do it. It's the same across the board. They all do a very similar thing, but I will say this seems to be the easiest by a long shot. So it sounds good. It's easy to use. Even if you're not going to use it, it's nice knowing that you have it, or you have an option, or worst case scenario, all of a sudden you're doing a different genre, or you want to try something new. You can just grab a file, plop it in, boom, done. And it sounds great. It sounds finalized. It sounds mastered. And there's not really much more tweaking to do. So you have all of the great benefits of what Line 6 brings to the table with legendary effects. They've been huge in the delay game for decades. And then you get all of their processing power, all of their effects with their great user interface and user experience. Now you get top tier captures as well. I don't know what to say. I mean, that is a game changer. It changes the game for everybody else. It means that everybody else needs to step up. The fact that Neural doesn't really give out a ton of effects in their updates, and when they do, they want you to be like super impressed that they gave you these effects. You have tons of effects that have been out for decades that all of your studio musicians have been using: Nashville, LA, New York. These are great effects. That's it. I don't even know what to say. It is that good. It's going to change my workflow for sure. I still have great presets, and I love using the Agora amps. The Agora amps sound incredible. But now we're getting to the point that you're not even able to tell the difference between a clone or the amp model. They're all really good, and now you have every single feature inside of the Stadium. Not only do you get all of these great effects, user interface, all this stuff, now you can actually take that capture that you made of, let's say, the John Mayer Archetype X plugin from Neural DSP that isn't available on Quad Cortex yet, capture it, and put it into Helix Stadium, and be able to take that great capture into the Line 6 ecosystem. And that's exactly what I did. So check out this video as well as a new video I just put out today that is me doing exactly that. It's walking you through my capture of the Neural DSP Archetype X plugin. And if you bought my John Mayer preset before, I still stand by that preset. It is incredible, but being able to compare it side by side with the plugin is great. So if that's something that interests you, check out my other video I put up today. That's going to be available on my website, jordanallenclark.com/store for $5. And check out my other presets I have available on there. And I'm going to have even more coming as far as Proxy clones are concerned, as far as the new presets and new amps that are coming out in this 1.3 update. So check it out. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, click that subscribe button. It helps a ton. And my name's Jordan Allen Clark. We'll see you in the next one.